Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning and welcome to TimetoPlay.com's Empower Half Hour, where each week one of the professional resources from our TimetoPlay.com site provides discussion and tips on how we can enjoy life. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a little overview of Time to Play. I'm not going to take too much time, and why it's an important project and why I started it. My name is Doreen Guma. I'm just a regular person, a mom and a worker bee. As a board-certified healthcare executive who's worked in healthcare since 1987, I've seen people with regrets. No one should have regrets. I started Time to Play as my quest for quality of life, and I figured I'd take 1 million people with me while I learned how to enjoy life. TimetoPlay.com is a people helping people project. I'm so honored to have so many amazing professionals who've donated their time and expertise to me to write articles for the site. They've joined me to be part of the team to meet my mission and to help 1 million people have a better life. And guess what? We're all part of the team. And everyone has something to offer to make someone else's life better. Even if it's a comment on the discussion forum, posting about a club they go to so others can come to, or an event or fundraiser they're holding that they could put on the event calendar that someone can find and that might bring a smile to somebody's face. I've also started a job leads forum on the discussion forum. I think that's important for now. And I believe that through helping people, and from helping another person, we help ourselves. The Time to Play philosophy is if you're not happy, healthy, if you don't have money, or if you don't have a work-life balance, it will be difficult to have quality of life. To help us have a better life today, we have Karen Garvey, MBA, author, speaker, intuitive, personal and business and professional coach, and of course she is a professional resource on TimetoPlay.com under happiness. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Doreen. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for giving your time to be with us. Karen's background is amazing. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I do have an unusual entrance into the world of being intuitive, and I think that's one of the things that makes what I bring through and the messages that I give unique. My story is that I really didn't believe in anything that was ethereal or anything spiritual. I grew up in a family that just valued the intellect, and I didn't really have any very strong intuitive moments or even the belief in anything other than Earth life and Earth existence. What changed for me was that during the attack on the World Trade Center in 9/11, I had just gotten finished with a run, and I received simultaneous information about what was happening. Afterward, being a New Yorker, I helped where I could, and my family became, diverted by doing whatever we could to readjust our lives and help people that needed help. So I put what happened to me out of my mind. It seemed insignificant at the time, considering what else was going on. But then after we started to get into a schedule again and I had a pattern of normalcy and predictability, I started to receive simultaneous information about things that were happening all over the world. And even more importantly than that, I started to have what I call like having a narrator with me, where I wasn't just knowing the physical events that were occurring. I was understanding or hearing explanation for why they were happening. From a spiritual perspective, I was hearing why people intersect, why challenges occur, how you can find benefit in anything that might seem unpleasant or uncomfortable or any kind of chaos. I was hearing about how we are all connected, a lot like the philosophy of Time to Play. I was hearing these thoughts that I'd never been exposed to before, and as I was applying the things that I was listening to, I found that myself and the very few people that I led into these experiences, we started to become more peaceful. So I dedicated myself to learn how to not just receive information, but to make it a two-way street so I can open up the conduit to universal wisdom to attain knowledge that can be brought forth to have details and suggestions and shortcuts for people to learn how to have happier and more harmonious lives.
Well, I have to say it's been a pleasure to know you for the short time that we have, and it was a complete accident that I saw something that was posted about a book you wrote called The Answers, and that book is extremely insightful, and I read The Answers and I read Begin Here, and I would suggest if anybody is interested to just get amazing information, like just really give you some things to think about why those things happen. And Karen talks about ripples, and it's really amazing stuff. But if you go on www.theanswersunlimited.com, you can purchase those books. Certainly would recommend The Answers. It's amazing. Our topic today is change, and we're talking about change for 2012. Karen's article is on the TimetoPlay site, again, under the Happiness Professionals component, and anybody could review. We're going to kind of go down this article. This is an amazing article, and we want 2012 to be amazing. And Karen wrote, "This is your year, and everyone has the opportunity to change and to ignite what is in them." So, Karen, give us some suggestions about, like, just the perspective that people should start with, you know, as far as what they want to do for change, and how do you even just start?
Okay. When I started to form this idea about changing for the new year based upon January and New Year's resolutions, I thought a lot about how people make New Year's resolutions, and then a few weeks into the year or a few months into the year, they forget about it. They lose that charge. And one of the reasons is that they're either not really wanting the change strong enough, but another important reason is that some of the changes that we suggest to ourselves that we want they're coming forth because we feel guilty, or because we feel shame, or because we feel inadequate. So if we're making a New Year's resolution about, you know, cutting down on drinking, or we're wanting to lose weight, or we need a new job because we hate our job, what oftentimes happens is we're in a place where we're not feeling good or wonderful about ourselves, and we're really thinking that if we can make this change, our lives are going to be perfect, or we're going to be happier. But when you come into embracing a change from that perspective, it's less likely that you're going to have the fuel to sustain your momentum in the long run. You might get off with a good surge. You might start off with a little bit of energy and excitement, but it's really important that you fundamentally alter your lifestyle around the change that it is that you want, and also that you focus on exactly that, what you do want, and not focus on what you don't want. You know, for example, if you're looking to lose 20 pounds and you're standing in front of the mirror and you're evaluating this extra 20 pounds and how it looks on your body, and you're looking at your body image and you're feeling uncomfortable, and you're saying, I've got to lose this weight, I should lose 20 pounds, that has it makes you feel uncomfortable. It feels as though negativity is being sucked into your body when you evaluate yourself that way. But if you look at yourself and you think about the things about you that you love in this moment, look at your qualities that are enjoyable, that you're proud of. There are things about you that are unique and original, that are uncommon, that make you you, and your weight doesn't have any bearing on that. You can also be that same person and be at a weight that you feel more comfortable with or feel more fit. So look at it as though you already are what you want to be, and accept that where you are today is great and wonderful, but as an additional compliment, you can make the change, and you have the power to commit to losing that 20 pounds or getting more fit or whatever change it is that you want to make. But the point is to look at what you want and don't look at what you don't want.
I think that's a great suggestion. I mean, realistically, when people get on the scale or they look in the mirror, they're like, oh, my gosh, I'm fat. Well, instead, you know, if you do look at the wonderful things that your body can do and achieve, and I've read that so many places where, and you actually have in one of the affirmations, and we're going to get to that, you wrote, my body is a friend and supports me in all I do. And that's huge, I think, that people accept themselves, and truly you can't kind of get anywhere without your body. And you know, it's pretty neat seeing people in the skilled nursing facilities that still have drive or have no leg and still achieve. You see what people can do if they're positive. So I love that. And then regarding the eliminate regret, I mean, we're starting to speak on that. When you have regret, you have written that it cements you to a non-productive pattern. Do you want to discuss that a little bit further?
Well, I find that eliminating regret is a really big process. So each of these different bullets in this article, each one can be opened up and highlighted and developed. What I would like to do is say that I wrote a couple of articles about eliminating regret, where you actually have tools and exercises that you can use. And I would just suggest that people go to the writings page of the AnswersUnlimited.com. There are a couple of really good articles about how to eliminate regret, and that's a very, very good starting place. Again, it's difficult to move forward if you're holding on to regret or shame or guilt or anything else that's non-productive.
That's actually quite well. I'm going to see if we can, if you want to email me that link to some of those maybe later on, we'll add that to the article under that section. So that is fantastic. And you're 100% right. Like, we beat ourselves up, and we are our own worst enemy. And, how many times do you question what you've done and if you did the right thing or if you did the wrong thing and you regret something? So that's usually helpful. And if you can't move forward until you get rid of that, then that's important for us to address. What about the next bullet? Change emerges from belief that the change is possible.
All right, here's one that I find really essential. There are people who are well-versed in the notion of the law of attraction and what you need to do to pull in what it is that you want. But most common advice about how to use the law of attraction leaves out the notion that you have to believe that the change is possible. You can do all the visualization that you want. You can imagine. You can have a visualization board. You can do all of these techniques. You could feel positive about the change, cut out images, use affirmations and all of this. But if underlying the things that it is that you want, if you don't believe that it's possible or you don't believe that you're worthy of it, then it's going to be impossible to implement the change in a permanent way. So you want to start to really look at your beliefs. And what I find is helpful is that if you start by asking for something you want or setting your goal on something that's manageable, it's easier to believe that it's possible. So, for example, if you start out 2012 saying, I want to make $10 million this year, and then you start to visualize it and put it on a board and use affirmations and feel good, if you fundamentally don't think that there's a way you're going to be making $10 million this year, it's not going to happen. So what you can do is start out with something that feels realistic to you, and it does feel possible, because your belief in the possibility is one of the most important magnets to allow it to happen. So you might want to start out with, I want to make $100,000 this year. And if that still doesn't feel doable to you, then start out with, I want to make $1,000. The point is, you start out with what you think is really doable, setting it a little bit higher than what you might have expected in the past. As soon as you reach that milestone, you can upgrade it. This is your life. Your life is not stagnant, and neither should your list of desires or the things that you want to focus on and change. So as soon as you have encouragement and you can see that what it is that you're wanting is coming together and the whispers of the universe are showing you the pathway there, then upgrade it. You can always increase what it is that you're wanting.
That's a great a great statement. People look at me like my own son regarding my mission or my goal. I said for 2012 to hit 1 million people and to have 1 million people be part of our team that Karen is part of to help each other. And he's like, what if you just say 100,000? I'm like, no, we're going to do 1 million. And, if we get 100,000, that'll be great. But you know what? I feel that we can do 1 million. I believe we can do 1 million because all of us are a part of a team to help each other. The realistic goals is very important. If you want to achieve something, maybe you need a little more education, or maybe you need a little certification, or you need something. So you need to figure out what you need so you can get that goal and, yes, feel it and see it. And I love Karen's, help for us to do that. She has a bullet here. You have a bullet here. Seek an encouragement buddy. How do you find one?
Okay. Yeah, this one is really important. In my client base, I have people who are seeking to make all different kinds of improvements in their lives, everything from physical fitness to improved health to improved relationships to seeking a harmonious romantic relationship to changing careers to launching a new business to launching a new charitable organization. I mean, everyone has these really strong goals. And what I find is one of the most important elements in what it is that they're doing is to find support. And sometimes it's really great to have a person who's seeking the same improvement or change that you're seeking, like having a fitness buddy that will walk with you 3 mornings a week or something like that. But don't limit yourself to only looking for people who want the same change that you do, because the key is it's to find someone that loves you, believes in you, adores you, and thinks that anything is possible, and has a truly strong heart about being vested in your happiness. Like they really want you to be happy. So even if that person is looking to, improve their financial profile this year and you're seeking to become more fit, you two can really become strong encouragement buddies to each other. And what it is it doesn't have to be something that's dramatic, and it doesn't have to be something that takes a lot of time. You'd be surprised how one sentence in an email every now and then can help you to keep your focus and to know that you're not alone. What I suggest is that an encouragement buddy in the beginning, that you have a time limit on a phone call to each other, and you make the time limit 5 minutes, because it's not about going on and on and on about all the reasons why this is the way it is in your life and all that. It's about sticking to the focus. So you speak for 2.5 minutes, the other person speaks for 2.5 minutes. In that 2.5 minutes, you share ideas that you're thinking about that might help you to stay connected to your change and to get new fuel that's constantly regenerating itself, and then to encourage the other person and say, oh, that's so great, I know that you had a really good day yesterday, you should be so proud of yourself, I feel really positive about you meeting your goal. So if you limit it to 5 minutes, you're using this opportunity to be focused. And a lot of times when something is not going the way we might want it to go in our lives, it's because we haven't focused on it and we haven't given it the positive attention that it needs to come to light.
Excellent. That kind of goes into the write down what you want, reread it, tweak it, upgrade it, and love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that important? Why do you write it?
You touched upon it, too, when you were talking about the body and what you experienced working in healthcare. We talk theoretically about the power of the mind and the body and the spirit connectedness, but it's far more important than we might even believe. Think about the mind, body, spirit as this sphere. If one of them is off kilter, the sphere is going to topple over and roll out of control. But when it's in balance, it can float and it can feel harmonious. So when you are wanting to make a change and when you're wanting to improve and you're feeling really good about it, you're bringing spirituality into your journey just by having that focus and believing that it's possible and using these tools. You're already using your mind because your mind is igniting the steps that it takes to make the change. So in order to make the wholeness of that mind-body-spirit connection, it's very important that you bring your body into it as well. So by writing things down, you have your body an equal component of this change. And then reading it, that's physical, tweaking it, upgrading it, putting it somewhere physical that you can touch and feel and see. It helps the whole process just become more able to advance together.
That's great. So, for an example, a business plan. Like if somebody has this passion, they want to do a business. A lot of people don't have business plans. I was talking to a person the other day who said most people fail in a business because they don't have a business plan. Is that something that you're speaking of, like that type of a thing? So if somebody truly does have a passion or a vision to do a business, is a business plan sort of something that you would suggest, as far as
sure,
writing?
definitely. What I look at is you don't need to be intimidated by the terminology of business plan. A lot of people, their mind goes straight to finance and accounting and marketing or areas that they might not have expertise in. But what is important is that you put down your goal and suggestions to yourself about inspired actions that you might take to reach that and what you believe is possible, what your mission is. What I see is that, part of writing things down and part of taking the time to activate understanding what it is that you want is that you want to communicate to the universe what your target is. Any great archer cannot hit the bullseye if there's no target hanging up. You have to hang the target first so that the universe can take aim. The universe is your partner, and you don't have to do everything alone. When I talk about the universe, I mean that we are all interconnected, and these little mini miracles happen all the time to point you in the right direction, to bring you an opportunity of having the right person in your path at the right moment, to get the right message, to see a sign, to encourage you. So you hang the target on the tree so that the communication of what it is that you want is effective, and everything can aim toward that same goal.
That's amazing. Going back to TimetoPlay, just because it's an example that I am passionate about, the website was confusing to people because it's so big and it's so vast, and based on some suggestions and things recently, it's changed. So if anybody hasn't seen the homepage, www.timetoplay.com, it is clear now. And it is written, and technically it is my business plan. It's there, it's there, and it is the target. And like I said, all of us working together. Hey, what the heck? I want to just go over a couple of things regarding these positive mantras and affirmations. There's a list. Karen actually put 26 in her article of things that we can pull. What exactly is an affirmation? What exactly is this?
What it is, it's a way to reinforce that something is possible. It's a way to change the way your body, even the physiology of your body, reacts to your thoughts. It's a way to direct your thought energy. What is amazing, and science is getting closer and closer to proving this by being able to measure the thoughts and the energy of our thoughts. Our thoughts are very, very powerful, and when they are ignited with positivity, they draw in things that are very different than if our thoughts are negative or repressed. So affirmations help to charge your thoughts with an energy that can help to bring you a lot of the things that it is that you're seeking. And it can help to eliminate some of the masks and layers that you might be carrying around from uncomfortable happenings in your childhood or different messages that you've gotten throughout life that are false or counterproductive, or they're not leading you to the abundant and harmonious life that you're wanting. So it's about creating what is possible in your life. So you use these affirmations and say them or speak them or look in the mirror when you're saying them until they resonate with you and that they feel true. If they're not resonating yet, that means that you're still eliminating something that's prohibiting your best self, your best growth, your best experiences. So each one of these have a way of helping you to get to where it is that you want to be.
Well, this is cool. I'm just going to throw 3 of them out, and people can go and they can look at their own. And I know that Karen had actually said create your own or seek others if, none of these are, they're examples. They're just examples. But there's something that people talk about all the time, and this one, letter Y, I am entitled to prosperity, happiness, joy, and freedom. And that's something that people have to truly believe. And they think, oh, I'm not going to have enough money, or I'm not good enough. You know what? Pull letter Y out. I can do anything. Oh, my gosh, how powerful is that? I am confident. How powerful is that? So that's letters X, Y, and Z. So those are just some examples. I am beautiful. I am lovable. I create a great life. We need to create a great life. We need to enjoy life, and that's what we're here for. And I want to just throw out Karen's contact information again. So you could go to TimetoPlay.com under Happiness for her monthly articles, and her contact information is on the bottom of the page. Her website is www.theanswersunlimited, ANSWERS unlimited.com, or you could call 1-866-263-3879. I would definitely suggest that book, The Answers. It's very insightful. I just want to throw out a couple of really quick things, and then we'll just, finish up with Karen here. After you read any of the articles, like Karen's article written by any of the professionals, you can ask any of them a question. Just use the link from their page or go to the forum for a direct link to them. There's no cost to ask anybody the questions, and these amazing people are here to help us have a better life and enjoy life so we could play. Next week, we are not going to have a podcast. I'm actually headed to Disney to play for a week, but join us on the 25th of January when Brian White, who is a professional resource on Time to Play Under Money, which you do need to play, he'll be joining us to discuss our financial plans for 2012, and also that the podcasts are available. So if you feel that Karen had some amazing information, please don't hesitate to share it with your friends because they deserve to have a better life too. We have like 3 minutes to go. Is there any other bullet that you want to throw out, or anything else that people should really kind of know so that they could focus on 2012 to make it amazing? Oh, and you could mention about the event on the 21st that you're having too.
Okay, sure. One thing that I'd like to add is that a lot of times when we are seeking to change our lives, we make it a very serious venture. And it's a good idea to think about this life as being a fun life. The more we think about having a life that makes us happy and having fun and being playful and using our imaginations, the more we'll be able to create the life that it is that we really want. Change might be difficult, and it takes a lot of adjustment and focus and creativity to implement the change. But it should always be about having fun and having a good time. We really are here to be happy. So have fun while you're doing it and play along the way. Time to play. Very good.
There you go.
The